Today we're diving into the world of tech recruitment and education with two incredible guests who are shaping Toronto's tech future.
Little known fact is Toronto is the third largest tech market in North America. It's after California and New York is Toronto.
Listeners, staying competitive begins with understanding the current trends in your industry. The insights shared today offer valuable guidance for navigating challenges. So let's work together to thrive in Toronto's evolving tech landscape.
For a national brand to be in Canada, right, they really only have to be, at least for a technology company, in Toronto and Vancouver, right? Versus move down to the States, a national brand, you're talking New York, Chicago, and LA.
Listeners, education forms the foundation of every successful career. So focus on acquiring the right skills that align with industry needs, and this alignment ensures a sustainable growth and long-term success. Hi everyone, and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. I'm your host Maheen, and we're here to explore the stories and strategies behind thriving small businesses. Today we're diving into the world of tech recruitment and education with two incredible guests who are shaping Toronto's tech future. First, we have Elle Ricci, the founder of Futuretek, whose remarkable career has spanned nearly 3 decades in tech education and recruitment. From co-op placements to founding Futuretek Academy, Elle has transformed how professionals are trained and hired in the industry. Joining her is Marco Ricci, the dynamic force driving Futuretek's expansion. A record-breaking recruiter, Marco has shaped Futuretek enter the US market and co-founded Futuretek Academy, addressing critical gaps in the tech hiring process. So join us as we explore challenges in Toronto's tech market and how Futuretek is revolutionizing education and what it takes to build a thriving community in a competitive space. So without further ado, let's welcome our guest. Marco, Elle, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
Oh, good.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we're doing well. How are you?
Good. And I'm very pleased to have you both, join us here. Now, I know I briefly mentioned in my intro some stuff that we will be decoding. And to begin with, let's talk, how do we decode Toronto's tech landscape? Because Toronto is one of North America's fastest growing tech markets, but with its growth, comes unique challenges for job seekers and employers alike. Elle, can you walk us through Toronto's tech landscape today and share what makes it such a distinctive market for talent and opportunity?
Yeah, Toronto has a great market for technology. Little known fact is Toronto is the third largest tech market in North America. It's after California and New York is Toronto, is the
Wow.
GTA. So, and if you go downtown Toronto, you wouldn't even notice just because it's so undervalued. And we have so many people coming into the city and we have homegrown talent that's out there, and we just have so much tech bursting at the seams, but they just can't seem to find each other. Hiring managers can't seem to find talent, and talent can't seem to find jobs. So the landscape is pretty robust for sure. And it's growing and it's going to get better and better. It just seems a little muddy right now at this time, I think. It's just people are a little, it's hard. Navigating through the market is the toughest challenge. But once you're in it, I think people are just really, really happy to build careers. There's a lot going on in tech these days, for sure.
There is no doubt about that. And thank you so much for sharing your perspective on Toronto's tech scene. Listeners, staying competitive begins with understanding the current trends in your industry. The insights shared today offer valuable guidance for navigating challenges. So let's work together to thrive in Toronto's evolving tech landscape. Next, let's explore how recruitment, it plays a pivotal role in connecting talent to opportunities, because recruitment is a critical component, right, of a job market, often acting as a bridge between talent and opportunities. So, Marco, this one's for you. How can recruiters like those at Futuretek help professionals find roles and advance their careers?
Yeah, definitely. Great question. So, the big thing as recruiters is we're advocates, right? So when someone comes to us and, they're looking for a job, it's up to us to analyze that resume properly, right? And then when we're talking to the person, we got to figure out, okay, how much of this is true, and then of what's true, maybe you didn't write enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's more to the story that, you didn't think was relevant or whatever it might be that is really important to a hiring manager, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we're people's advocates. Sometimes we get jobs before they actually go to the market. Sometimes those jobs don't even make it to the market. They just go to an agency. And above all else, it's just, us being that bridge really between the hiring manager and the candidate. We can help them, start their career or continue their career.
That's an insightful perspective, Marco. I mean, it's clear that Futuretek's approach is more about, than filling jobs, right? It's more about building those careers. Elle, this is for you. How does Futuretek Academy complement this entire process by preparing candidates for the specific demands in the job market?
Yeah, this is Futuretek, I've been in tech for over 20 years in the GTA. So I've watched the trends change, up and down over the years. And it's a hot market, and it's not. It's hot and cold, hot and cold. So the last few years, we noticed that, again, these murky waters kind of appeared where hiring managers were starving for talent. I mean, there are thousands of jobs, tech jobs in Toronto right now. So they're starving for talent, and they can't seem to find the right people. And then we have all this talent that can't. So we decided, rather than just, send out these resumes to hiring managers who didn't know, they're still taking a chance, whether the resume is coming from us or whether the resume is coming online. They're taking a chance all the time. And onboarding is very expensive for most companies. So, I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, we kind of take it lightly when they do one interview or 8 interviews and everybody go, but it is a process for a lot of companies. So what we decided to do with Futuretek Academy was we're going to put them through a program where we can find out, fairly short program where we can find out what their technology skills are like. So we put them through, if they're already experienced, we put them through 4-week programs. If they don't have as much experience, we encourage a 12-week programs. And then what we do is we find out through the program how, what level their abilities are at. So it's not a pass and fail thing at all. And it's not like, oh, I can't do this or I can, because chances are you're going to learn it anyway. But it's more about, are you going to come out of this an intermediate, a senior level person, or a junior level person? Like, what can we do for you? Because we want to set realistic expectations when they graduate for the jobs that are out there for them. So sometimes people graduate and they think they were senior, and we're thinking, maybe you're intermediate, or they think they were junior, and we're like, no, you're definitely intermediate. So we do things like that with our courses, and then, more importantly, halfway through our course, we start the career program.
Right.
So, which is really where we build resumes and LinkedIn profiles, and we build confidence, which is usually the key factor to all of this, is just building the confidence for them to be able to apply and get the jobs.
This is great. I mean, your partnership, it really highlights how recruitment and education, can work hand in hand to empower professionals. Next, now, let's dive deeper into the educational innovations at Futuretek Academy, because excuse me, the tech industry, it often struggles with that disconnect between what's taught in schools and what the employers actually need. So Elle, how does Futuretek Academy address those gaps and better prepare students for the real world demands of the tech industry?
Yeah, our amazing instructors.
That's amazing.
That's the go-to answer every time. We have the best instructors out there. We make sure we find really, really good instructors. Our instructors are dual-faceted. They have the real-world experience. We try and find people with 5 to 10 years experience in the real world, and then experience having taught their expertise. And those are the people we have. And so right now, I mean, we've got people that are just out of this world to teach. And they're not only teaching, these guys are relating to their the participants in the classroom, because they can, even the assignments, they're designed so that they're real world assignments. It's nothing theory, not to knock university, but, not university kind of theory. It's just practical work where they're doing assignments that their boss would ask them to do in a real job setting.
Right.
And then with that, they end up with project work that they can put on the resume.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's a double they get a lot out of it for sure. So that's how we try and merge the education, the recruiting, and the job hunting. And so by the time they've done all this, and by the time a hiring manager sees their application, they really do stand out.
That's such a refreshing approach, Elle.
Yeah.
I mean, combining of why of traditional education with how of practical training, it's truly innovative. Stay tuned as we discuss Toronto's tech community and explore ideas to foster a more connected and inclusive environment.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Four billion people check their email every day. That's 4 billion missed opportunities if your message doesn't make it. To reach your customer's inbox, you need a winning strategy. And Constant Contact delivers. Literally, over 97% deliverability. Elevate your email game with easy-to-use templates, writing assistants powered by AI, and in-depth metrics. Ensuring your email is flawless, delivered, and read. Constant Contact delivers. Give it a try.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
connect and recharge,
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
We'll dive into the challenges of building a vibrant community in such a fast-paced market. Now, Marco, if you build onto this a bit more, can you please share an example of how Futuretek Academy's unique model has led to a success story for one of its graduates?
Yeah, definitely. So a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, we had a gentleman he was a newcomer to Canada, in addition to, not trying to restart his tech career, but trying to continue his tech career. And he had, I think, 8 to 10 years experience from Southeast Asia in product management. Mm-hmm. He comes to us and he takes our 4-week data science boot camp.
Okay.
Back then, things were a little different. We gave the recruiting component a little earlier in the course. Was actually in the first week back then. It was really interesting for him because, we took his resume, his LinkedIn profile. We found, what he was doing really well, right? And even with the interview training that we do, mm-hmm. we looked at what he was doing really well and we helped him kind of hone into that and go, okay, this is what you should be focusing on when you're talking to hiring managers. We found the little things that could be improved a little bit, ironed those out. And then it was by that second week he started interviewing, and I think he had 8-10 interviews pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. By the third week, he had 2 huge offers come in.
Wow.
One was for $80 an hour with a big tech consulting company, and then another one for $150K a year with a financial institution.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And so he ended up taking the financial institution offer. And it was kind of funny because he was trying to negotiate his start date to be after his graduation so he could finish his course. We talked him out of it because, you've got a job offer, right? That's more important. But he took the day he came to his graduation and he ended up inspiring a whole bunch of his classmates. He had one of the best job rate classes that we've ever had because he was able to just instill so much confidence in
Wow, this is so
growth.
inspiring.
They
Very, very motivating. I mean, learning about the tangible effects of your programs in the real world is incredibly motivating and inspiring. Thank you for sharing that, Marco.
Yeah.
Listeners, education forms the foundation of every successful career. So focus on acquiring the right skills that align with industry needs, and this alignment ensures a sustainable growth and long-term success. Now let's shift gears to discuss how we can strengthen Toronto's tech community to foster even greater collaboration and growth, because despite its rapid growth, I feel like Toronto's tech community, it can feel fragmented, which can limit its potential, for innovation and collaboration. So Marco, why do you think Toronto's tech community feels so small compared to its market size, and what steps can be taken to strengthen it?
No, definitely. And I think you hit the nail on the head a little bit by calling it fragmented.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like everything, and I mean, you see this a lot with the States too, but all the different segments are like, they're broken off, right? They're fragmented.
Right.
And so the big thing, and I mean, this is even how, Futuretek Academy came to fruition, is by building through community, right? So, I mean, for us, it was a little more clear cut in terms of, we have all the pieces, right? We know all the pieces, let's put them together.
Right.
But overall, I mean, like for a national brand to be in Canada, right? They really only have to be, at least for a technology company, in Toronto and Vancouver, right? Versus move down to the States, a national brand, you're talking New York, Chicago, and LA.
Right.
And that company is going to be known from, all four corners at that point. Versus in Canada, if you don't have that community, right? People in Alberta, people in Halifax, they're not going to know what your company is or what they're about,
Very
right?
true.
And so it's about building through community and kind of going, hey, just because we're not in your city doesn't mean we can't reach you, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's great, because I wanted to add something else as well, because Toronto has emerged as the fastest growing tech talent market in North America, as you highlighted it initially as well, adding over 80,000 tech jobs in the past 5 years, I believe. With this remarkable growth in mind, and this is a question for the both of you. We can share, both of your mixed opinions, but what steps can businesses and industry leaders take to foster a more inclusive and dynamic tech ecosystem that benefits pretty much everyone?
What can they do? That's a really good question.
That's a really good question.
We try and educate them as much as possible, even with the hiring process and the interview process and things like that. But getting more involved with the community. So on the flip side, what we're trying to do is reach out to them exactly and then bring them into so building community, a tech community for us also meant, we have meetup groups once a month. We have hackathons that we run for the tech community. We try to do so many things.
Career fairs
all the time. Just get the name out, let people know what's going on, that we're there for them. So on the flip side, when I call a lot of clients, I'm proposing these things to them, and I'm actually trying to get them more involved in, either with sponsorships or with partnerships, which is even more important. If, reaching out to, I don't know if I can name one of the clients, but, I reached out to TD Bank, and we're trying to put together a hackathon for women in technology, and we're working on that right now. So we'll see where that goes. But, trying to get them to come to us, because I don't even know if sometimes we think they just need to be prodded as well, because they're so busy working. Most tech companies are understaffed. So they just need to hey, come out here. There's lots and lots of talent. They need to know you're hiring. We also had a partnership with Kijiji just last month in November. They were doing a ton of hiring, and actually we had a partnership meeting there where we invited 100 people from our side to come in and talk to them. And we had a whole bunch of cybersecurity people and data people get hired through that, which was really nice. So yeah, a lot of it is, hiring managers or companies just need to know that the community is here and ready to go. And it doesn't take much for them to find people if they just open their doors and let everyone know that they're there.
Amazing. This vision of yours to promote collaboration is really inspiring, Elle. Listeners, a stronger community is built on shared knowledge and mutual respect. By fostering collaboration and innovation, we can uplift one another. Together, let's create a thriving tech ecosystem for all to benefit from. Now, in our final segment, let's talk about how professionals can prepare for the evolving future of work, because the tech industry is evolving rapidly. And staying ahead requires stability, and it requires the right mindset and the right skill set as well. Can you explain, like, how is Futuretek helping professionals prepare for the challenges of tomorrow's tech landscape?
Definitely. So, I mean, a lot of it comes just in terms of the tech bell curve, right? Technology, what we know today in 3 to 5 years is going to be completely obsolete. Right. So a big part of it for us is with our instructors, right? We hire industry leaders to make sure that, everything that we teach is on the forefront of technology. With all the meter groups that I was talking about, they're all about, either cybersecurity or artificial intelligence, and not what's happening today, what's happening tomorrow. Right? So it's about pushing forward. And it's not, as much as we teach the principles and the basics, right? You can't build a house with a foundation. Once, we see that everyone's got that foundation, our participants have that foundation, we start to build up and go, okay, now that you know what you're doing and how you're supposed to do it, what can you do with it? Right? It's kind of the third question that we don't always talk about too much, because a lot of the time it is just about the foundation, but it's about what can you do with it, right? And today especially, everybody's trying to do something new. And, it feels like at times there's only so many ideas that can be really, brought to attention. But the more minds we have on it, I mean, cybersecurity, for example, we're down. We need around 400,000 more jobs globally, right? Jobs, not even people at this point. Only 52% of cyber companies actually feel prepared in case of an attack. So it's about what can we do today to make that not a problem for tomorrow.
That's an excellent explanation, Marco. I mean, it's inspiring to see how Futuretek is equipping professionals with the tools and with the strategies to navigate the constantly changing landscape. But can you elaborate on how Futuretek integrates emerging technologies or market trends into its programs to ensure relevancy and impact?
Definitely. Again, I'd say a lot of that goes back to what our instructors do, in terms of, by pushing what people know today and by informing everybody of, the level of progress that we've hit today, we can start to build into tomorrow.
Right. I mean, it's exciting to even think about how these efforts will shape the careers of tomorrow's tech leaders. Elle and Marco, I've had a great pleasure to having you both on the show. Before we sign off, is there one final thought or a piece of advice that you'd like to share with our listeners today?
Yeah, the one constant we see with everyone that we meet, and getting them that job is the confidence. Like, don't be shy to understand the value of your skills, and put yourself out there. Don't be shy to have opinions about technology, and put yourself out there and talk to people. Networking is really, really important in tech, and especially in Toronto's tech market. Like, network is the biggest thing. And reach out, connect with people on LinkedIn. I've got over 25,000 first degree connections. Yeah. So, and I'm reposting jobs all the time, even when they're not our jobs. I repost because I'm connected with so many HR people. I'm always reposting jobs, entry level, student, grads, senior jobs, executive, director level, C-level. So yeah, connect. It can't hurt, right?
Super resourceful. Yeah. Marco, you?
Connect. Make sure, the trusted connections, and it's all about community, right?
It is.
So more connections, more growth.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to the both of you for sharing such invaluable insights with us today. I mean, your work in preparing individuals for the future of tech is truly inspiring. So thank you for the work that you're doing, and we wish you both continued success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode with Elle and Marco Ricci. We explored the intricacies of Toronto's tech market, the vital role of recruitment, and the importance of bridging education and industry, and the power of building a connected community. A big thank you to our sponsors, RBC, UPS, Constant Contact, IAG, and Google for supporting this podcast and empowering Canadian businesses to thrive. Please don't forget to subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine at CanadianSME.ca for more insights, tools, and stories to inspire your journey. Until next time, stay innovative and keep driving success.